Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I'm going to discuss how we can access the data from published Power BI report into the Python for your further analysis. So here, let's say I have this report. Okay, and I'm going to query the data. Obviously, the report is built on this semantic model. So this is a connection. So if I have to export the data or I have to make the connection with this Power BI report. So in that case, what I can do, I what I need first of all, I need a DAX expression. So if you don't know how to write a DAX expression, what you can do is simply create a view and go to this visual, click on this ellipsis, and then you can say export data. Always export a file as a live connection so that you will get the DAX expression for this table. Let's say I have to export this table. I have to get this data in my Python. This is fine. So now if I open this, okay, I don't want to open backdated files. Fine. Then say enable content and all. Don't say enable content. So it will make the correction and it will execute the query. We are just looking for the DAX expression. Okay, so then come to the data, then click on the queries and connection. Then if you double click on this connection, so in the definition, you will see the text. This is the text that, or this is the DAX expression that is getting evaluated to create that visual. This is what we want. Okay, fine. So text we got from where we can pick, or let me keep this on one of the notepad so that I'll not lose it. Right. So this is what my DAX expression to get the data from that visual. Now, now what you have to do is you have to make the connection with the Power BI service, obviously. Until and unless you make the connection, you will not be able to request the data. So what we will do is we will first very simple import. We will import the pandas. Import pandas as a PD. Okay, this is the library of definitely you need for your next analysis or to handle the data in the Python. Right. There is a library called PyADOMD. PyADOMD. Okay. So even if you search here for analysis service client libraries, so you will come to this. Fine. From this library, what you have to install is install this ADOMD. So if you click on this, it will start the download for you. Okay, this is what the file which is getting downloaded for the 5.2 MB. Right, I already downloaded that file, so that is in my bucket. So I'm deleting this, but yes. So what you need to do is you need to install this file. This is required. Okay, so I already have installed. Otherwise, you can say repair and all, but I'm not going to do. You just have to say next, 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 and it is going to work. So where that file will get installed. So if you come to this C drive, then inside the program file 86, then Microsoft .NET and ADOMD.NET, right? Then 160, and this is your supporting file or the library that is required to make the connection with Power BI service from Python, right? So on .NET side, we made the uh, necessary things we have completed. Okay, but now what is our requirement is let's say I have to access. Then in the Python has library called pyado md. pyado md. So what I will do, I will say import. Okay, so let me say that package I have installed. So I will say pyado, from pyado md import pyado md. Okay, fine. Now this is what I need. Even simply what I can do is I can import pyado md also. So as per your convenience, you can use. Let's keep both. This is not going to hurt us in any way. Okay. If you don't have this package installed on your system, you are supposed to go to the command prompt, search for the cmd, and then say pip install this and hit the enter button. So all this library will be from the Python side. All the code will be installed or added to your Python package. Fine. So now whatever the Microsoft library we have installed for the analysis service, what you need to do is you need to pick the path. So what you can do, you can click on this, then say copy as a path. Okay. This is what you need to make the connection. Once path is copied, okay, there is a package called a CLR. Okay, or what you need to do is you need to append this path, or you can add this path to your environment variable. I think we can do that also. So environment variable. Okay, then let's say environment variable. Then let's say this is user, for user, and from this. Okay, so I can say new, then ADOMD, let me say, then this will be the value, right? Okay, then again I will add here ADOMD, and this. Okay, let me try whether this will work for me or not without loading this package or this file in Python manually, right? So I have added that library to the path. That is fine. Next thing is we need a connection string. What connection string we usually prefer to access the analysis service data? So obviously, even you can search here for the connection string connect. No, this is not connect to SQL Server analysis. Okay, you may get a connection string here. Right, this is what the connection string. Let me copy this and let's say connection string is equal to this, right? So provider is MS OLAP, that is fine. Server name is different. So what server name you should use? So if you come to the Power BI workspace, okay, inside this, if you go to this workspace setting inside the license info, you will see one link, connection link, right? So this is what you need. So this will be your server. This is fine, right? Then initial catalog. Obviously, what is your initial catalog? So initial catalog is this is the semantic model name, not a report name. Okay, you can have any number of reports on the semantic model with the different names. That is possible. But yes, so you are supposed to give, because data, whatever the data we will face, that is not coming from the report. That will come from this semantic model. So I will say this is file. Now, obviously, what you need is user ID and password. Okay, so Power BI API. Okay, so my file is that file is Power BI API. Okay, let me see the path once again. So you need to store the credentials into the some other file. It's not like that you can have the credentials here, but I cannot display my credentials. That's why. Okay, so this is coming from the E drive. Then data analysis, then Power BI, API, and right. So here, what I will do is I will keep my credentials. Okay, so once you have the user credentials, what you can do is you import that Python file obviously here. So I will say import. What is the name of that file? You can see here as a user cred. Right. So here, what I will do is I will pass the variable. So there is a way to pass the variable. You need to format a string. Then I will say UID, or you can simply space user space ID. Both are going to work. In this case, I will pass user cred dot UID. Okay. The next is let's say PWD. This is a shortcut, or this is alias for the user cred dot PWD. So here you can pass your own credentials, and you can execute, but I cannot display my credentials, so that's why I used this is the way. Okay, right. So now our connection string is ready. So now, what is the DAX query? Obviously, what you need to do is you need to have the DAX query. So I will say DAX query, right? So what DAX query you are going to execute? So let's keep inside as a text, but since this is a multi-line text, what we can do is we can keep that inside the three quotation. This is fine. So this is our DAX query, right? So now after DAX query, what we can do is we can try the connection. Right. So I will use try and catch so that if I would be able to handle the exception. So I will say with Then this is the function that is coming from the library which I installed, pyeduomd, and here I'm going to pass connection string as a connection. Okay, so this is the alias I used. So now using that connection, meaning using the connection parameter, what I'm going to do is, obviously I'm going to create a cursor as a query. Okay, not query, let's say cursor as a cursor. This is even fine. So now we will use this cursor dot to execute cursor dot execute to execute the DAX query. So I will say DAX query. Okay, so the here our result will get, meaning whatever the expression, whatever the data we will get, that will get stored inside the cursor. This is what the cursor. So then what we can do is we can store the result. Okay, meaning this is just still we are in process to get the data. Inside the result variable, your data will be stored. Okay. So now what you can do is to print this. Okay, not going to discuss the detail about the what cursor parameters and all and all. Okay, so what we will do is we will just print the data here. So column 0 for column. Okay, meaning we are going to extract the columns from the cursor dot description, because everything will get inside this description variable. Okay, that from that we are just looping, and then out of that loop we are just slicing it for the 0, right? So now this will become our data. So column 0 will hold the data. So what again we will do, we will loop in results. Okay, this is just for the column name printing. Looks like fine. And then say print row. Obviously print a row is going to print a data. Okay, once this done, what I will do is I will say try we have written, then let's say except exception. So we are going to handle the exception as a e. So print, I'm formatting here error and e, right? So this will just print a message what error I'm getting, right? So I tried adding that path, but not sure whether it will be able to resolve or not. In that case, we need to do that manually. Okay. So if I run this, so what it says from pyeduomd. Okay, there is an invalid syntax. It says, okay. If I run, okay. So now unexpected intent, column 0. This is again syntax. Oh, this should not be there. There should not be any space, otherwise Python will get confused. So now let's run this. Okay. So what it is doing, it is not referring to the AMD connection is not defined. So you need to import the AMD connection. Okay, so from this we will import, but let's see whether this statement make a sense. So from that, whatever the file we have installed, from that file we are going to import the AMD connection and all. Okay, that is in use. This is even fine. And in general, what we have is before importing this, we have a library called CLR that is used to add the reference for the packages from the Microsoft files. So I will say add reference, and the path which sometime before we copied, that path we need to specify here. Okay, what path we copied? So if I go to the C drive inside the program 86, then Microsoft.NET, ADOMD 60 this, and then I will say copy as a path. Fine. Always you need to make sure once you copy this path, so change this backward to forward slash. Okay, and let's complete the changes first. Okay, so we need a single quote. We cannot go with the double quotation. So this is the path. Okay, fine. So now I have added the reference. Okay, one more reference we need to add. Then in that case, since we are adding the reference, what we will do is we will add one more package here. Okay, package we have added already. That this is ADOMD connection and all we have imported. So I will say add reference, and here that file name, meaning, so let's say this we can copy analysis service dot ADOMD client, right? ADOMD client. So this is what the package unit. And this reference or this path you need to add. Okay, again we have to see whether this is throwing error. For it should not, but we don't know how it will go. So let's run this. Okay, this is under the execution. This okay, it is able to make the connection with my Power BI service, and you will be able to see that what data I am able to see on the Power BI side in this visual. Okay, so let me. So this is what the data we requested. And the data what we are getting, you are able to see here. Right, so month is April. Then we are able to see the year, quarter, then quarter two, right? Then if I slide slightly, okay, so it is giving the quarter separately. Okay, so this is based on the expression, whatever expression we are evaluating here. So what it has done, I think it is returning the quarter numbers also separately. 2 3 4 2 2 3 4, right? Then the numbers you can see 71 22 66 24, 71 22 66 24 point 24 34. Okay, the decimals are not there. It is there, but it is for the 6 to 8 digit. So we can control that in the pandas also once we get the data. And you can use this data for your further analysis. This is what our motto of this video, to access the data from the Power BI service into the Python. And if you want to do further analysis, definitely you will be able to do. So with this, I would like to conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. I hope you like the content of this video. So do not forget to subscribe webcam to learn more about the data analysis.